Okay, this is my response video to Michael Buckley's May 13th game day post on Perone 75. And I have my notes on what the questions were and what my responses are over here. So when I'm looking over here, that's what it is. Okay, the first question was about what things are too personal to discuss with other people. And I was trying to figure out like which things, all the time are too personal because like with YouTube, it's politics, religion, and money. I don't want to talk about those three things on my YouTube thing. But then with friends, it depends on the friends, like where did you meet them and, whatever. But still, I realized it all boils down to politics, religion, and money again. Family, politics, religion, money. No. With family, talking about money is okay because if you don't think you're making enough, they're going to back you up. And you want to be able to talk about it with them if you are hard for cash and like really need some money. So politics, religion, and sex. But just in general, the three things that I would probably not discuss with other people, just as a general rule, unless I really had to, would be politics, religion, and hemorrhoids. Question number 2 was about, so you're in a room and it's you and somebody that you really care about and you each have a button on the wall next to you and you know that at the end of 60 minutes you're both going to die, or one of you can press your button and the other person will live and you will die immediately. I would totally press the button, but I would have to do it right away. I might want to, like if it was somebody I really, really loved, I might want to stay and like, talk to them for a little bit just to say goodbye and be like, hey, give this message to this person and that message to that person. But the thing is, if it's somebody you really, really care about, you're both gonna probably be trying to talk each other out of it and be like, no, let me press it, I'll go, you can live and whatever. So I would probably have to just be like, hey, I love you, see ya, and press the button before they could talk me out of it. Because, if you really care, you're not there to like send a message and be like, before I go, I need you to know what a martyr I'm being by pressing the button. Like, dude, just push it, because in like a couple minutes, you're not gonna care. So just do the damn thing. Question number 3 was, would you rather be like a really bright and creative person but unhappy, or would you rather be kind of simple-minded but really happy? And at first I was thinking, well, I'd rather be really creative and unhappy, but then I realized that, I would eventually just kill myself because, like I would literally commit suicide but only if it was, like extremes, like extremely creative and whatever, but really unhappy. Otherwise, if it's not extremes, what the heck's the point of the question, you know what I mean? So I'm assuming it's extremes. So yeah, I was like, well, yes, that's what I would want, but no, I would eventually, die at my own hand. Like, I would not be able to handle it, because I'd feel really lonely, I think. And then I was like, well, if I chose to be happy, but kind of, would I really care? I mean, if I'm like simple-minded enough for it to be enough of an extreme to make it worth being the other half of this question, then I probably don't really notice that I'm kind of simple-minded, I'd be like, whatever, yeah, this is, oh, look, a peanut. You know what I mean? So that would be okay. But then I was watching Designer Guy 1979's response video. I forget what it was that he said, but it kind of made me start thinking about, like, if the question were to be posed where it was like, okay, this is going to happen starting right now, does that mean that I would remember how it was before? So like if I chose to be simple-minded but really happy, I mean, like, because right now I'm kind of in the middle on everything, like when it comes to my areas that I'm good with, like I can be pretty creative in them. But with other stuff, I'm an idiot and I can't come up with anything and I'm just a total like dry well. But as far as happiness, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm floating, So it's like, if you all of a sudden went one way or the other, would you be able to remember this point right now and be like, oh, I'm really simple-minded now, but I remember what it was like to be able to do all these things and I really miss it. And would that, tarnish your happiness? I don't know. I maybe should just answer the question. Number 4, would you rather have an extremely happy private life and then professionally have it just be kind of, meh, or vice versa, really successful professionally, but your private life is kind of whatever. And I think the question specified that neither was going to be really terrible. It was just like that one would be great while the other was mediocre. And I would much rather have a really happy private life and have my professional life just be sort of, you know, whatever. And see, that's why it sucks to be a celebrity right now, especially like a young celebrity, because then your professional life and your private life are essentially the same thing. So if one is really great, and the other is not, like, that sucks. Because everybody knows about it and everybody has advice and everybody's gonna get all, you know, in your business about it, and I would just hate that. And then I was watching Abominable Angel's response video, and something she said touched on an idea that made a lot of sense to me about, you know, I would want to be happy in the place where I felt like I was irreplaceable, because, you know, it's good to be happy and loved and whatever, but to also feel irreplaceable, you know, is to feel needed, and I want to feel needed. So that's why I would choose to be happy in my personal life and just whatever in my professional life, because in my professional life, even if you're like the CEO of the company, you can always be replaced. In fact, one day you'll die and you'll have to be replaced. So, you know, but like if you're the mom or the wife or, you know, whatever, like, you know, even if mom dies and there's a new mom, or even if you get a divorce, or even if whatever, that particular relationship can only exist if you're there, and you have so much to do with the happiness of everybody involved, and happiness is so much more important than like financial success or whatever. Number 5, committing perjury for a friend. No. I'm a really bad liar. Everybody would be able to tell I was lying, and I would feel so guilty about it that eventually I'd have to be like, oh my God, guess what? I totally perjured myself. And so now not only is it being reopened for trial, but now I'm in trouble because I lied. And number 6 was the thing where you've got 10 pistols in front of you. One of them is loaded, the other 9 are not. Would you point one at your forehead and pull the trigger for $1 million? No. 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 Okay. Yes, I think that's it. Okay.